After the pastor took his wife to the hospital following the loss of their triplets, they eventually returned home. But from that moment, the pastor could not stop asking himself questions. Within the space of just 6 months, he had lost his elder brother, his mother, and now his triplets. He kept asking himself what is really happening to him, what is really going on with his family. He knew that something was wrong, but he could not understand what it was. After asking about it for some time, he decided to talk to a pastor's friend. He told his pastor friend everything that had been happening. The pastor friend listened to him and then said, "I want to take you to somewhere, but I need to tell you the truth. It is not church." The man said okay, that wherever it is that he is going to go, as long as he is going to find solution to what is going on, to what is happening in his life. His friend went ahead to tell him that it's a deep forest, that they can only hear a voice that can speak to them, but they're not going to see anybody. Then he agreed to go. He said he is willing to go anywhere as long as it could find solution to what is happening around him and his family. They eventually got to the forest. They went deep inside the forest and suddenly a voice called his name. The voice called his full name. Oh. It called his surname, everything. So the man was shocked. The voice told him that the wife is his problem, that his wife is his problem. The pastor immediately turned and looked at his friend. He became angry. "Do you want to destroy my home?" he asked his friend. "You brought me here so that you can destroy my marriage." He did not wait for another explanation. He ran. He ran through the forest trying to find his way back out. When he finally returned home, he was still confused. He kept asking himself what is really going on. Could it be true? Could my wife be the problem? But then he looked at his wife. She was a very calm and beautiful woman. She hardly talked. People knew her for her beautiful smile and her gentle nature. She had never been violent towards her husband before. Whenever he comes back from church, from work, she would welcome him, collect his briefcase, and make him comfortable. So the pastor could not understand why anyone would say his wife was responsible for his troubles. While he was thinking about all these things, his wife noticed that he had started looking at her differently. She was a smart woman. So she began to wonder what was going through her husband's mind. But she already knew what was happening. She knew about the river in her village that is very close to her family house. In her community, there was a tradition that a man who married a woman from their village had to settle the river. The other things given during the marriage, such as yam or every other item, could go to the woman's parents, but the bride price connected to the river had to be taken to the river. The man was supposed to take his wife there himself and settle the matter, but the pastor did not know this. When he married his wife, he paid the bride price to her parents, believing that everything has been settled. But his wife's family never told him about the river, and his wife knew. And she knew all along, knowing too well that this has been what is causing havoc in the man's life and even inside the marriage. She knew that the river had not been settled. But she kept quiet. Maybe she was afraid that if she told him, he would refuse to marry her. Maybe she thought that because he is a pastor, nothing would happen to him. Or maybe she had another reason for keeping it a secret. But she never told him. As the pastor continued to think about everything, his wife became worried. She knew that something was beginning to expose the secret she had been keeping. So she went to her mother in the village. She told her mother what was happening. Her mother told her that everything would be fine. She said they would go to the river themselves and plead with it to allow her to have a child, even if it's one. They did not want to tell the pastor to come with them because they knew he was a pastor and might not agree to any arrangement that have to do with tradition. The woman and her daughter went to the river and pleaded with the gods of the river to allow her to have a child of her own and stop tormenting her in the marriage. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like the video and share it with others. Stay tuned for the continuation of this true life story.